from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's going to take you on a hike, and even right now we still have 12 interpretive signs to read during the intro as we complete a loop in Huckleberry Regional Preserve here in the East Bay of California. The birds are here. I'm here. And we're just going to take a nice walk together for the next hour or so to take your mind off stuff and keep you company. If you're new to Sleep With Me, these on-location episodes come out once or twice a month. Put out a lot of different shows. So keep giving our podcast a try if this one doesn't work for you. It is a bit of a different show. I'm here to be your friend, take your mind off stuff and keep you company so you could fall asleep. Like to be there while you fall asleep instead of putting you to sleep directly. There's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. Be here over an hour. What we got coming up is support so that paying for the podcast is optional, only for the people that get a lot out of the podcast. For people that are temporary listeners, going through something short term, or just checking the show out, you don't got to worry about it. And then there's a long, meandering intro separate from the support that's meant to ease you into bedtime. And then we'll have our bedtime story, which will be more of a hike that we're already on. So I'm really glad you're here. Work really hard. I yearn and strive. And if you do listen to the show on a regular basis, if you do fall asleep fast, if you do listen all night long, if you have listened for years, you say, this podcast has made my life so much better, and you want to be a part of something, the show continuing, but that gives to you and so many other people, if that would make you feel good, and counting on the podcast would make you feel good, and having all sorts of great bonus content would feel good, or you want to just participate, here's a couple ways you could do it.
Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So, they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
Hey, everybody, this is Scoots here. I'm running through the yeses of people that should support the show after we already ran through the no's. Don't support the show if you're new. Don't support the show if you only listen once in a while. Don't support the show if you can't. Don't feel pressured to support the show. Or don't support the show and don't feel pressured to support the show if you don't want to. We have you. The yeses will have you. And you can feel good about that there's somebody out there who's supporting the show for them and everybody else that listens. I don't know. Is that you? Are you the yes person? Yes. I want to be a part of this podcast. Yes, I want to be this part of this thing that nothing else exists like it that I've found, that I never knew to look for, that I never knew I would even like on my first two or three tries even. Yes, this podcast brings me comfort in the deep, dark night. Yes, it brings me something like sleepy joy and delight in the deep, dark night. Yes, I count on the show. Yes, it makes my life better. Yes, it makes my days more manageable. Yes, I know Scooter and everyone that works on the show wants me to be out there in the world flourishing so our world is a better place to be in. And yes, I know that takes a lot of work because the show is so reliable. And yeah, I couldn't replace it with anything else. I wouldn't want to. Yes, I can. And yeah, I'm willing to overcome all of those things in my way because it is not easy to support the show. Even when you can and you want to, there's so many hidden obstacles in our way. Putting it off, saying that somebody else will do it, saying Scoots isn't talking to me, saying I'll do it one day. All it takes is that last yes, which is yes, right now I'm going to support the show because I care about it, because it's an important part of my life, and because I count on it, and I know thousands of other people count on it that can't. And if those are all yeses for you right now in this moment, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Sign up to support the show. You can set up the bonus content tomorrow. And yeah, I know it's a big ask to say yes right now in this moment, support the show. But if you're listening and hearing me right now and it's all yeses, you're probably the only, you're the only yes. And that's a statistic. Unfortunately, it's a statistic. And that's why I'm trying this different direction. Because I want you to be, I want to keep making the show. I love making the show. And it is really hard to support the show. So if it's not hard for you right now in this moment, think about signing up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And if not, don't worry about it. The last person that supported the show said it took 10 years of me asking. So right now we'll be on the people from 2016. But ideally, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on our show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And like for people that, I've been saying don't support the show directly. One of the ways you could support the show is letting people know about the podcast or signing up for a referral newsletter. If we get enough people interested, we'll start doing fun live streams or something like that. And you could sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/REFER. Thanks, everybody. And what do you say we get on with the show?
Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, this is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts, things on your mind, thoughts about the past, the present, the future. So thinking thoughts, feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something. You could be getting over something. We are on a hike right now, and we'll be going on a hike all night long. We're at interpretive marker 12 right now. We're doing it in reverse. It's the California Bay, and there's trunks of the California Bay. It's creating a larger, denser canopy than the original tree, which decided to lie down and go to sleep and then let other trees stand on it. And that helps it. There's something about thriving. And this show's here to help you thrive, believe it or not. So whatever's keeping you awake, I'm here to take your mind off of it and keep you company so you could fall asleep. And the only reason I kind of go through whatever's keeping you awake, right, is because, one, I know what it's like not to be able to fall asleep, to have trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep, waking up. But I also know you deserve a good night's sleep, right? You deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so your life is more manageable, and so your day's better tomorrow, and your night's not like mine was last night for the first hour or so, where I just couldn't fall asleep, and I felt like I had too much caffeine, even though I was like, wait a second, I didn't. So I make the show because I know what it feels like. A lot of the other listeners know what it feels like too. We know what it feels like kind of deep down. And also, I want to help, and the listeners hope this podcast can help you out like it helped them. So, yeah, I am glad you're here. We did miss 3 of the interpretive markers just because I didn't know how far off the trail they are. Just a heads up for any completists. We'll leave those for another day. You always want to leave things undone. That's actually like Ray and I have stuff at theme parks we've never done, and then we're like, yeah, I don't know if I should do that because I have something that's yet undone. But yeah, so I hope I can help you fall asleep. You deserve a good night's sleep. This show works in a little bit different way. What I do is I send my voice across the deep dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic, I get mixed up, then I kind of forget what I was talking about. There's some repetition. A lot of this is on these hikes is me looking at stuff, getting distracted, telling a story that has nothing to do with anything about Huckleberry Trail or Manzanita or anything. But it's all he'd be here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff versus putting you to sleep. And that's one of the things that takes some getting used to, right? Is here we're at Coast Huckleberry. Has bright or dark glossy green leaves, hedge-like growth, blackberries. Identify the huckleberry. No berries on it right now. Flowers from April to May and grows in the preserve and has pear-shaped fruit with sweeter flavor. Huh, interesting. I don't know if I've had, I wonder if I've had a huckleberry before. So yeah, those are the kind of questions. So this is, I send my voice across the deep dark, lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. And this show does take some getting used to. These on-location episodes, in particular, these are something that a lot of people, listeners, love and only want to listen to these, and then other people they just don't work for. And most of the listeners, it's somewhere in between, right? So just give the show a few tries, because that's what most regular listeners said. Hey, it took 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show, because I was skeptical when I got here. I was doubtful. I didn't know. I thought you were just going to put me to sleep. I didn't think we'd be at number 7, the intermediate successional stage. Dense canopy of leaves here. Beneath the canopy, there's the one brittle leaf manzanita burls, moss covered. They're resting. Some have taken a nap for a long time, and there may be competition-free understory, but it is a competition between the chinquapin and the huckleberry. So somebody let the whoever the characters in that Disney movie are that I can't. Rafiki's the only one whose name comes to mind. Timon and Pumbaa, and let them know that hey, there's a sleep podcaster out here saying, what about the understory? What about the main story? What about the intermediate successional understory? All right, we're here. We got manzanita burls, which are knobby, swollen structures at the base of the manzanita, and it's a mass of latent buds that sprout after it's just like stuff happens. It gives this plant a competitive edge to produce a flowering, mature shrub faster than shrubs that will rely only on dormant seeds. And this podcast is about not making your thoughts dormant totally, but more distracted and at ease. So just give podcasts a few tries, I think, because every episode is different. I'll explain a little bit more, I guess, but just take some getting used to, because this is a show that's here to be a friend, a podcast that you kind of barely listen to, which is different, like a TV on in the other room, a show streaming under your pillow, a roommate or a friend that's talking to you about nothing for a few hours, just to keep you company and be a presence there for you. That's kind of reassuring, kind of distracting, but kind of silly. Like number 5, brittle leaf manzanita, low spreading growth, bright green stalked leaves. It's a shrubby pioneer of the barrens, forms dense colonies. Big basil burl. Big basil burl sounds like a band member. Flowers in February and March. So yeah, I'm here to be barely listened to, right? And that takes some getting used to. Is like, it's a podcast, but I kind of barely listen to it. Yeah, and it's also a sleep podcast that's not here to put you to sleep. There's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. That's why I'm out here hiking. It does put a lot of people to sleep, but it's here for the people that can't sleep at all too. And that's why the episodes are over an hour. That's why we do so many different styles of episodes. There's TV recap episodes. There's improv storytelling episodes. There's written episodes. There's personal essay style episodes. There's trip reports. There's so many different things. Because I don't know. What I've figured out works over the years is having some variety to help you fall asleep, but more to keep you company while you fall asleep. That's why there's no pressure to fall asleep. That's why there's a variety of shows in case you can't sleep. In case 4, chinquapin. Chinquapin is boat-shaped dark leaves, golden fuzz on the undersides, yellow burr-like fruit, nutlets, flickers and jays extract the nutlets from thorny burrs in the fall and winter. It's got a basil burl. And the plant flowers from June to September. And that was number 3, right? 4. So we got 3 more. We're almost, it's perfect timing here. So I'm here my job is to keep you company while you fall asleep, to be your boar friend, your boar bay, your boar sib, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boars, your boar friend, your boarman, your Boris Borloff, your boar 3 pallid manzanita, very rare plant, flowering as early as mid-November, reddish smooth crooked branches. This is a rare jewel. It was more widespread in the ridgeline of Skyline Boulevard at one time, but it's now almost wholly confined to this preserve and one small area on Sobrante Ridge near El Sobrante. In the summer, it's the sticky, viscid berries may adhere to your clothing. Viscid. Yeah, I mean, we're here, and like really a plant that only exists. I mean, how lucky are we? But you don't really have to pay attention to me either. Like, I'm here to keep you company whether you're awake or asleep. That's what the job of your boar friends to do. To be at your side, to be on call, and someone you could listen to. But again, there's no pressure to fall asleep. But ideally, yeah, it brings you comfort. It brings you friendliness. But then maybe it also works that you just fall asleep because of that situation. So it's a podcast most people don't like. You just barely listen to it. It doesn't put you to sleep, but you do fall asleep. And the structure of the show is a little bit different. So let me explain to you the structure of the show as we just finish out this hike here. Like, the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in, and you say, oh, okay, I might check that podcast out. Then there's a long, meandering intro that's meant to ease you into bedtime. Oh, wait, first there's support, sorry. So there's the teaser, we call it, at the very beginning of the show, the greeting. Then there's support, so that paying for the podcast is optional. And it's, yeah, so like, so many people just come and use this podcast for a little while, you know, while they're going through something tough, or they have something coming up, or they're on a trip, or their work schedule changes. Like people that are in the middle of something. And then there's people checking the show out for the first time, or just giving it a trial run. And then there's long-term and midterm, long-term listeners, right? And between the listener support and the sponsor support, we're able to do that for everybody. But if you decide you want an ad-free experience, or the podcast makes your life better, you could support the show. And yeah, in exchange you get ad-free episodes and a bunch of other cool stuff. But that's what the support's about, because most people prefer this ad-supported version. They listen linearly, and they just listen while they're going through something. Then there's, after the support, totally separate from the support, is this part, which is a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And the intro isn't really designed to put you to sleep. While a small percentage of people fall asleep, most people are getting ready for bed, getting in bed, getting comfortable, or doing some sort of wind-down activity, or chilling out. Because the intro is kind of like a buffer between your waking period and falling asleep, to ease you into bedtime, like a landing strip. That's what the intro's there for. And we get to hang out, right? And if you prefer something without intros, we have bedtime stories from Sleep With Me in every podcast app that's also ad and listener supported, or story-only versions on Sleep With Me Plus. But we'll kind of wait and see what works for you if you're new. Or try both. Like, some people listen to the show 5 nights a week. So, yeah. And then, yeah, I guess that's the kind of the purpose the intro serves. And we've got some dear buddies that just went by. So that's what the intro goes on and on and on. It's also supposed to introduce the show, but in a kind of inefficient manner, right? But every intro is different. Even these on-location episodes, like, I record an intro, and as we've been doing these more and more often. Like, at the beginning, earlier of the show, we used to do them a lot, and then we kind of moved away from them, and then we've kind of found a new way to make them possible. So I do the episode part, and then once I know what the episode's going to be, I do the intro, and instead of just doing some standardized intro, or even sometimes I may have to do an on-location intro from home or something, but I think it's cool to kind of already be in the environment, have the familiar structure of the intro, though I'm in a different place. I'm following different distractions. I'm looking at birds. I'm looking at manzanita and whatever other plants, and thinking we have 2 more interpretive signs left, maybe 3. How much distance we have left on this trail, I don't know. So that's what the intro goes on and on and on, to ease you into bedtime. It could put you to sleep, but it's more about kind of hanging out and ease you into bedtime. Is that what I was trying to explain? I can't even remember. I think so. And it's kind of hang time. So that's what the intro is. That's what the structure of the show is. And I guess this will be an extended intro maybe, because I know some people are going to be like, hey, I want those other 2, what do you call it, interpretive signs. But yeah, so what else do you need to know? Structure of the show. So the show comes out well, I don't know, in 2020. Currently, when I'm recording this, the show's kind of going through a transition, but we'll see by the time you're hearing this. The goal is to put 2 new episodes out a week, and then we've been putting, oh no, we must have missed 2 because this is 1. Pink flowering currant. Long, pendulous, racems, racemes of pink dangling blooms, unraveling, highly aromatic, sticky leaves as the plant breaks out of its winter dormancy, much like leatherwood. Flowers from January to March. Blue and black berried forms of this species grow in this preserve. I forgot what I was talking about. Structure of the show. I don't know, but I guess like the trail's getting busier anyway, so I'm really glad you're here. I think I covered everything. I work really hard, so do a team of people, and I really hope we can help you fall asleep. Thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple ways, if this podcast makes your life better, you can help us keep doing it for you and everybody else that it benefits. Thanks.
All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix. And you know where I was last night? So comfortable, and this morning, and I didn't want to get out of bed because I was so cozy, so comfortable. Yeah, of course, I was in my Helix mattress. And the amazing thing about my Helix is it fits my needs, my sleep preferences, how I like to feel in bed, because I took the quiz over at helixsleep.com/sleep, and I got matched with a mattress. So of all the features I need to sleep cool and comfortable, all the support I need for when I'm sleeping on my side, when I'm sleeping on my stomach, to take good care of my back, and so I get a great night's sleep, and then I'm so comfortable. I'd like to take the day off and spend it in bed, especially on these cool winter nights. Holy moly. But what about you and your mattress? Do you think it's time for an upgrade to a mattress that gets you and what you need? What's going to make you comfortable? I think you deserve that, right? And you could take that Helix quiz. It matches you with the perfect mattress based on your personal preferences and sleep needs. It makes buying a mattress easy, and you do it in the comfort of your own home. And there's free shipping in the U.S. It comes straight to your door. And what an upgrade it's been, because I had to temporarily sleep on a mattress that was not a Helix. And now I look forward to going to bed every night, to getting cozy, pulling those blankets in and snuggling down in my Helix. I'm going to be comfortable all night long. So what about you? How about you take that quiz and you see what discount Helix has to offer right now? Go to helixsleep.com/sleep to see the latest offers for Sleep With Me listeners. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for current offers. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep.
Alrighty, buddy, Scoots here, and I think we're for a treat. I don't even know if this will be an episode. This is could be a walk with me episode, or depending on how it goes, or a piece of bonus content. Because I'm walking or hiking, and I guess I probably would have set it up in the intro, but so it's one of those days where you got to be flexible, and my plans had changed a few times, and I almost wanted to give up and not get out and do something and have an adventure. But oh boy, we're on a little trail here, and you could breathe with me too, but I'm smelling some eucalyptus, I'm hearing some birds, I'm looking down into a canyon, and I'm on a trail in a park that I won't get lost in, but I don't have any idea where we're going, and I hadn't planned on coming here. We're at Sibley Volcanic Regional Park, or Roberts Sibley Regional Volcanic Park. It has been at least, oh wow, you hear that? I don't know what kind of bird or frog that is, but it has been at least 12 years, 13, 14 years since I've even been in this park, and I'm definitely on a trail I've never been on before, even though it came right out of the parking lot on the left, or I don't think I've been on it before. I've probably only been hiking in this park once or twice, though when I was checking, if you listen to older episodes, protector of Oakland stone fruit, I would use, this was, I'm up on Skyline Drive in Oakland. Right now I have a view of Mount, non-positive person involved in the non-positive post-earthly regions, or one of the figures. And yeah, so I guess we'll just walk. How about that? Walk with me, right? And we'll just see how this goes. Unexpected, but I am smiling. I don't know if you could pick up on that. And happy to be out here doing something. So originally, I had everything prepped today and a plan to do an episode in Golden Gate Park. And I was pretty close to departing for that when I found out there'd been a miscommunication and my daughter needed a ride. So I went and got her, and it was somewhat far away. So then that was a couple hours. Then we ate lunch and got lunch at a grocery store. So I did a little grocery stop and unloaded my groceries. And today's kind of a combo thing. Like, it's an artist date and recording. So these on-location episodes, especially the impromptu ones like this one, are a twofer. It's kind of like a hobby of the podcast, or a hobby version of the podcast, because we're out here in my hobby time. Now I just came up on a bend in the trail, and there's some lavender and just a little bit of an open, not quite a meadow, some orange flowers, really beautiful. And you can kind of hear the thicker grass on my feet. And so, holy moly, sorry, I didn't expect to turn and see a beautiful view of San Francisco. I didn't know we had views of that up here. Wow, so I'll keep on this trail. Wow, there's just a little bit of mist and fog. But so yeah, the original plan was to record in Golden Gate Park. But by the time I got everything settled, it was getting close to 2 p.m. and I was like, man, driving to the city, the fog's going to kind of come in. Not ideal. There's a road below us, so that's a motorcycle going by. So then I was like, okay, if it's an artist date, I don't have to record today. So I could go to a movie or go hiking, because I had planned on walking at Golden Gate Park 5 to 7 miles. So I didn't go on my Sunday morning run. And so that it was like, well, if I go to a movie, then I'm not getting in what I want to do. And so that's okay, but it's kind of part of my plans. So it's a little bit windy up here, so I will go for a view. I'm going to just take a peek at San Francisco, and Oakland, downtown Oakland, San Francisco Bay, Golden Gate Bridge, Emeryville, Berkeley, motorcycles, and the Oakland Hills, Lake Merritt. You can even see the Alameda. Wow, what a view. Let me get out of the wind though. So then, and there's another view. As soon as I turn around, I see Mount Diablo. Mount Diablo. So then I was like, okay, I'll either go to a movie or go hiking, right? And this is kind of the nature of these walk with me episodes where I just go off topic. So this trail may end at another trailhead. Then I'll just turn around and check out the other trail. This was a nice little short trail we went on. I just want to see if there's another trail down here. We're back on Skyline Boulevard. And it doesn't look like it, though you could take the side of the road, I think, and keep going towards Tilden. Okay, let me walk a little bit more just to make sure there's not a trail going down this valley here. No, not that I see. Wow, so there's another trail up there. I wonder if that's... Anyway, not important. Okay, we're going to turn around and head back towards the parking area and then head out. There's a couple more trailheads. So yeah, by the time I got up here, there's no phone service up here, so I couldn't check my trail app, which is okay. So I said to myself, this is what I love about these walk with me episodes. I'm out here in nature and totally off topic. It's perfect. There's so many ships in the bay. When I'm recording this, it is right at the beginning of May. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 at least big ships, either tankers or container ships. So I was like, okay, I'll go to a movie. That's a good artist date for me. Museums are another one I like to do, but I'm trying to do less of those on Sundays when the weather's really nice. So I was like, okay, there's a movie I did want to see, or I could go hiking at Redwood Park, which we did an episode of, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could complete the hike or do a little bit more of it, shoot some video, and then I was kind of going back and forth even on that. I'm like, or I could just go and hike and shoot video and not record. The reason being, on Sunday, that park is very popular because it's got a lot of different. It's got paved hiking, it's got gravel hiking, it's dog friendly. It's got a bigger parking area. So it's just a really popular place. So recording audio there is tough, but even recording, if I was going to record the video, might be tough because there's just wow, I've got a tree with some great moss, got more birds. Wow, man, are we lucky to be out here. So I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Let's go to Redwood. And yeah, maybe we'll shoot some video. Maybe we'll just go for a hike. And then I was driving, and then I was literally debating. I don't know, but we could be recording something. It is pretty fun when we record. It just adds this layer. And it adds actually to the unpredictability instead of making it predictable. Because if I'm not recording, this dialogue is in my head, but it's not the same dialogue. If you listen to Sleep With Me or you have trouble sleeping, that could be one of your issues, right? If I'm on a hike by myself and I'm just shooting video, I may not enjoy the hike as much as I want to. So I was like, well, yeah, if I record it though, I know I'm going to enjoy it more. Oh, next, well, do I need to shoot video? There's going to be a lot of people out walking. Yeah, I don't know. But heck and forth. And I was like, wait a second, what about Sibley? That's like right by there. And I was like, but I haven't been there. I don't even know where the trails go. Like the last time I was there was on a hike with somebody. And I can kind of remember, was that even Sibley? What will Sibley be as busy? I said, yeah, let's just do that. Like full adventure, whether we record it or not, whether we video it or not. We know we want to go for a hike. And so let's just do that. And I said, okay, that's a good idea. That sounds fair. And that sounds like an adventure. Like, man, it's a park we haven't been to before. We don't know if we're going to record the audio. We don't know if we'll record the video. We don't know if it'll be busy. And we don't even know. We don't have a trail map. I was already almost sure that we wouldn't be able to get service. So it's like, okay, we probably can't get service. So what does that mean? And I said, oh, okay, well, let's see what happens then, right? And we started driving up here, changed the directions via audio. That failed the first time, but the second time it took. And as we were getting here, it's a pretty winding road, right? It was like, okay, there's people like walking towards their car with water bottles. I was like, oh man, maybe the parking lot's full. That's gonna mean like, okay, that will mean probably not recording, probably not videoing. But then I got here and actually the parking lot wasn't full. It seems like it's filling up now, or even since I've been here. So we'll have to see how this goes. But even this is a win, because we are on an adventure and I did catch a little bit of audio. Okay, now I'm here. Oh, this is a Huckleberry Botanic, so I'm not even at the Sibley. So I'm not even where I was supposed to be. Okay, but we could take this lower Huckleberry, so we'll stay to the left, and then go across the creek and then come back. Okay, so we're not even at Sibley Park. Okay, so fair enough. Stay to the left twice. That's all we need to remember. So yeah, I'm not even at the park I thought it was at. That's funny. Cool. So, wow, it's a nice trail here with a fence, wooden fence. Oh, wow. Really a lot of smells now. And so, yeah, I'm going to lower my voice because other people are hiking and give the birds a chance to thing. Let's see, the pallid manzanita shrub overhanging this trail was cut down in 2012. Pallid manzanitas are, so, hey, leave the pallid manzanitas alone. That's that sign. Huckleberry Park. I even forgot about this one. Wow, how lucky are we? Now we're headed off on a full-on adventure. And we're going to take the lower loop. Oh, wow, so you could take this as a full-on loop. If we do that left, we can come back to say how long it is. To the connectors, 3.2. Oh, yeah, so we got plenty of mileage in us. Okay, I'm hearing talking, though, so I got to make sure. Guess it doesn't matter which loop I choose. There's probably going to be some people out here, but we'll just do our best, and we can pause. And, yeah, so wow, some ferns here. And now we're really into, like, the like a forest feel. And the other thing I'm already noticing is if you listen to the Redwood Park one, is like already how different the vegetation is here than Redwood, which had a lot of redwoods. This seemingly I don't see any redwoods. There's trees. There should be pallid manzanita. We may see some of that. And got a nice slow down. Oh, man, the smells. I know podcasts, and even though this is binaural, I can't quite capture that. Bless you, somebody sneezed up at the... So yeah, we're going down. So yeah, it kind of worked out, I guess, was my thing. And it worked out so much that I think I was supposed to keep going to get to Sibley, but I turned in here, and there was parking, and it's not busy. I mean, there are other people out on the hike, but this just isn't as popular, has a much smaller parking area. And how lucky are we again? And those birds agree with us. And it looks like they've been working on this for spring right now. As I go through here, I notice, that whoever is in charge of maintenance here is doing a great job. I am dressed, Bay Area dressed. I've talked about this on the show before. I did wear shorts today, even though I knew I was going to be in San Francisco, because just because I was like, okay, I'm going to wear a sweatshirt. I was planning on only being from San Francisco from like 11 to 2. And I know my legs don't get as cold, but I would, even in a day like today, I would have recommended most people wear pants. And then when I was getting ready to go, I actually packed a second sweatshirt, just because I had a really light sweatshirt packed, and because for layers. So I have a sweatshirt or jacket on, like a whatever track jacket, warm-up jacket. All right, so I'm back, and I forgot what I was talking about in a good way. We're in the wrong park. We're hiking Manzanita. Oh, we have our first interpretive sign. 21. Pacific Madrone, smooth reddish bark, flaky with age, an evergreen spreading leaf canopy. Madrone resemble a tree-like manzanita. Heavy clusters of dark red to orangish berries appear in fall and winter, and a delicacy for mourning doves. And madrones develop basal burls. Oh, I can see what they mean. Like, about it being, it's much bigger. I would say a giant tree like manzanita. Already learned something really cool, and we've been out here a few minutes. All right, so on we go through these ferns, and again, just really lucky and happy to be able to share this with everybody. Wow, there's a thick woods canopy. And it kind of switched things up. Like, I haven't been trail running in quite some time, because once you kind of fall out of that, I just don't have the schedule to get back into it. I got big into trail running when I drove my daughter to school, because where I'd pick her up from school, there was trails that I could run on, so I would drive over before the end of the school day, go for a run, and then pick her up. And then on Sunday mornings, I would go somewhere and hang out with some of my friends that don't drink, and then go for a trail run there. But my daughter drives herself to school now, and Sunday mornings, if I have I can't really leave her for like 2 to 3 hours, which is usually, it'd be like 2.5 or 3 hours I'd be gone from home. So both those, my schedule life changed, but now we get to be the beneficiaries of it, because I still love being out here. And I would say this is like trying to avoid too much forlornness, right? When I'm recording this, I have 3 more months living in the Bay Area, depending on how a lot of other things that are unexpected and out of my hands go. Wow, so we're on some, I wonder if this rock underneath us will be identified with any things, because it is the kind of thing where it's like, interesting. So by the time you're hearing this, presumably some of I'll have some clarity on that stuff, but maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be in the Bay. I'm doubtful of that, but who knows? Next up is this California hazelnut. Multiple trunks felt like leaves. Snowy male. Somethings. Hard nutlets. Vase peppery fruits. Sweet and edible. Related to market filberts. Wow. It's a California hazelnut. And that, I mean, we got really lucky. This is the most, a lot of these times these trails used to have, you'd have to carry a guide. But this has nice public signs that we can look at. And, man, another valley. This is really cool. It is now the dry season, so it's kind of the perfect time to be out here hiking. They didn't bring any hiking poles with me just because I knew I was going to try to get audio and video of this one. And one of the keys behind the scenes is marking the audio on the app I use to record the audio. Because then it gives us a pretty good idea of like how many cuts there's going to be, like necessary cuts where people are talking or something loud happens that has to definitely be cut out of the show, and it helps me time it, because it's like I did one recently where there were 60 marks, so I was like, okay, that means I probably need to record for 2 hours or an hour. Like 60 cuts probably means at least 60 minutes of the recording is going to be lost. So it's like, okay, we want a recording to be 50 minutes of usable material. So it's like, yeah, you probably want, if you had 60 marks, you'd want 60 minutes of recorded audio at least. So you'd want 120. It just helps when you look at the editing. This is part of being more efficient with me and Russell and Posty, as we've tried to become as efficient as we can as a team, and as things change, but also like being like, hey, let's keep putting out these episodes that people love. But I've also like thought about using a clicker. I did briefly in the past, but to be honest, this is like the first time over the past like 3 months, and part of it is knowing I'm moving, that it's like, no, we have to be much more deliberate in planning our consistently recording on location episodes, just like the other episodes. Now that we've made this decision to release them in the public feed, again, it's like a kind of a positive creative constraint where it's like, oh, okay, if we're going to release these, then we want to make them on a regular basis, which means recording at least one a month. But then knowing I'm leaving here, it kind of bumps that up to be like, oh, okay, let's record more than one a month, so that we get kind of like, I want to do a couple more hikes. I want to get all of Golden Gate Park, or at least one more Golden Gate Park if I can't get two more. A couple of Alameda more where I live. But marking them, like for example, this is a very quiet trail. So right now we've only had two marks, like where we were coming across a couple that was hiking, I could hear them talking, and then another mark when they were walking away. So it's like probably was 2 minutes. Well, here's a little stream or creek. It's not making any noise though, but maybe it'll pick up later. Crossing our path. How nice. There's a plane passing overhead. We've got more of these rocks on both sides of me. Oh man, another heady scent, not of something other than whatever that stuff's called. And we get nice foot sounds, which I know actually people are fans of. Okay, so here's our second left, and I'm just going to check our time because we're going to want to go back on that loop, just because. Oh, actually, we have 4 marks on here. So oh, wow, we're at 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to probably do a little bit more on this, and then like I'm going to stop recording me talking, and then on Sleep With Me Plus there'll also be this portion, which I guess will be at the end or separate, of just me hiking without talking. So yeah, but I'm still proceeding downhill, and then I guess, yeah, the only thing is maybe I get as much as I can going downhill, but yeah, someone hiking up on me. So alright, this is Scoots, and I'm gonna be doing the second half of this loop here for the end of this episode, and then the intro probably towards the end of the loop, depending on the trail traffic. I did continue my hike, and I recorded all of it on I recorded all of it in binaural audio, just me hiking without me talking, and that'll be on Sleep With Me Plus. And maybe down the road could figure out a way to release those with like a shorter intro or something. I don't know, but yeah, and I recorded half of it on video. But yeah, we're gonna continue on this interpretive path that we're doing in reverse, and now we'll be gaining elevation versus losing it. So yeah, lower Huckleberry Loop Trail, and yeah, let's go. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else we can learn about it, except something is clicking in my pocket, which is a spare battery, which we did need, so it's a good thing we brought it. Yeah. Alright, so let's get that. Is that going to work in that pocket? I don't have a backpack with me on this trip. Just trying to travel light, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to these interpretive things. I think we learned about things that madrones, which I think are trees that are like manzanitas, and California hazelnuts. Don't worry, with Sleep With Me there's never a quiz. But yeah, so I did walk all the way to Sibley, got a drink of water there, because I don't have a backpack with me here, just because it was kind of like this was impromptu. I had a backpack with me, I just decided not to bring my backpack on the hike, just because it adds another form of like possible noises. That's the main reason. So, and probably get more distance without it, even though it's not that full. So yeah, so we hiked all the way to Sibley to that parking area and back. It was a really nice hike, but not as like I don't know if it's as nice and calm as this one. Got a tree here with some quality moss, and there was no interpretive signs on that trail. So, and because I did have a trail map, I stayed left every time. So when I came back, I had to go. I went right every time, and I thought I was headed towards Sibley. I didn't think I would make it that far, to be honest. But then I got to a paved, kind of like road hiking path, or service road hiking path. So I was like, oh, it must be close, so I might as well go get some water, and see. Okay, we got a nice valley here with more water sounds that you could really hear. Babbling brooks, as the listeners say. This is more like less babbling and more sprinkling. And this stream or creek, I think it's part of San Leandro Creek, and it's actually underneath a large amount of vegetation, probably from the winter and the rains that got when it was going stronger. Okay, interpretive sign though. Oh boy, so these are the ferns, some fern facts. 19, western sword fern. This fern is identified by large, leathery, glossy green fronds, rusty undersides due to the maturing double-rowed sori, which new ferns develop from shedding spores. Plant thrives in cool, shady, moist sites, frequents the borders of huckleberry thickets or the shade of bay woodlands, which we may be in both technically. Cool. All right, so yeah, we have another. I don't think this is actually a path here along the water. So I'm going to stay on this main trail. I think that's more of a human, wherever a side path people created. But yeah, so I was staying left, and I was like, okay, since this is again, like, even though it's very, you always want to practice good practices, right? So it's like you might as well go left every trailhead so that when you come back, you can go right every trailhead, even though this is an urban hiking park. You don't have cell phone service, so and I was just willing to go what I knew I could handle distance-wise since I didn't have any water on me. But that ended up being Sibley. Or once I got to the paved path, I was like, no matter, even if it was a half mile, it's like, okay, I take this paved path, get some water, get back on the road to sleepy stuff. Oh, there's a nice white flowered plant. And sign 19 was our last sign. Means we're counting down. Counting down. Huckleberries. Top 18 now, maybe, unless we miss a few, which is probably likely. Interpretive points. Got a nice view of, I think, the Skyline Ridge, but I don't know. Directly across. I may have been on the left side. Oh yeah, so somehow I got over there, but not at the part I'm looking at now. But I could have gone, at some point I probably think we could have gone right, and then you have a view into the East Bay, so probably I don't know on that side what you could see. Moraga maybe? Martinez, San Pablo. Is that where the San Pablo Dam is? I think so. But yeah, we got some good foot sounds. On the quiet hike, there was a lot of different foot sounds, including a lot of inconsistent foot sounds, because again, this is impromptu, so I have running shoes on, and luckily it's dry, but not unbelievably dry. Could have worn trail running shoes, I guess, next time. But yeah, you can tell that I'm gaining some elevation, so it makes it kind of extra sleepy. And Scoots can kind of keep his pace here and get a nice view. And yeah, just kind of keep going. I do try to remind myself to walk slow. And I mean, for these, it doesn't matter too much. But when you're gaining elevation, obviously it's better. But even when not, it's the more I do these, hopefully the slower I'll learn to walk. But then we cover more ground, right? So it's a win-win. We got plane overhead. We're in a nice, really forested, I want to say thicket, but I don't think that's the right word, of trees and stuff. And I'm presuming we'll go up and to the right. At some point, I'm thinking these, the trails will, like there'll be a trail to Redwood Park, or connecting to Skyline Park. There's something called Pinehurst Trail when we were lower, and I'm not exactly sure where that goes. But again, you know, you download, if you knew where you were going, you would have downloaded your trail maps too, right? All right, but this is Scoots. There was a little traffic at number 18, which was fern species. I did take a picture of it, but sword fern was on there, and a couple other ferns. So it would have been fern facts or fun fern facts, and so that's always funny. Also, fern was one of, like, way back when the show first started. It might be hard to believe this, but like at first, for the first 6 months to a year, we didn't really have any listeners, or very many. Initially, no, not any listeners, and then very few, and then which was cool. But and then eventually, I don't know when it was that started like hearing from listeners occasionally, but Fern was one of our first listeners that emailed in. So just a fun fern facts related to ferns and people named Fern. So that's cool. So yeah, this trail looped around. There was other people enjoying it, and kind of still hear them in the background, but far enough away that it's sleepy, and always good. And again, kind of mind-blowing, like the Redwood Trail. I guess maybe even more so mind-blowing that I like am in this park encountering almost no people, and I could be in downtown Oakland in I mean, I gotta finish this hike, but from where my car is parked, it would only depend on traffic. It'll take me 10 minutes to hit traffic, so it could take anywhere from like 12 minutes to 20 minutes to get to downtown Oakland, and you would have no idea that like two huge cities were just minutes away, because San Francisco's not far from Oakland either. And the fact that this is part of this East Bay Park system, and it really is visionary. I don't know a lot about the history of the East Bay Park system, but when you're in the East Bay, all of the hills are not developed behind the cities. There's parts of the hills that are developed, but there's also this green belt that goes up and down the East Bay, and a lot of the peninsula has a nice green belt too, and that it's just like such a treasure. And obviously sometimes it takes realizing you're going to move away from the treasure to appreciate it, unfortunately. So formal apology to these parks that I haven't had. Well, it's not totally true though, because back when I was trail running, I would come to Redwood Park, but these parks, I guess I got into a groove, right, where it's like I knew the trail in Redwood that I could run and how much it took, the distance, And so I just stuck with that trail versus, well, and then Tilden. So wait a second, I'm not giving myself credit here. Okay, here's the wood fern, coming in at 17. Wood fern, soft, leathery appearance, feathery appearance, distinguishes it from the dark, leathery fronds of the sword fern. Oh, I see. It is feathery. Wow. It's a true dweller of the shaded woodlands, tolerates dryness better than the sword fern. Oh, wow, and it is feathery versus leathery. And that rhymes. Feathery versus leathery. Let's see if we can find... now I got a sword fern next to a frond fern. I can't even remember the name of it now already. I forgot it. Wood fern. That's because it's kind of like a... Yeah, so we're looking at... Got a sword fern right next to a wood fern here. And you can definitely see the difference. And there must be a third fern out there, because there was 3 ferns on the other side. That, yeah, so yeah, really grateful to have resources. But again, it's also, I have to remember that it's using these resources wherever you are versus comparing. And this isn't supposed to be a life lesson for anybody else, but it's like I am one of those people that procrastinates, says tomorrow's going to be a better day, or one day I'll do more hiking, or comparing and if I lived in a place with better hiking, or if I lived, or if then, I got to remember that it's where you are, right? Right here, right now, that matters. And right here, right now, we're just walking and snoozing on a countdown, looking for number 16. We had sword fern, we had types of ferns, and we had wood fern coming in 19, 18, and 17. Here had Nightwater Radio. I love saying that. We got another sign coming up. What will be coming in at 16? Is it 16? It is 16. Bay trees take over in latent successional stage. Bay trees, see here, standing out, shading out all competition. Eventually only a bare understory of spindly sword ferns and huckleberries will be around. Large invalid trees or groves. Understory gets depleted. Soil erosion. In other areas, they may help perform erosion control. Spicy aromatic leaves. Oh yeah, because it's bay leaf. Wow. So, but at this point there's a lot of trees. Oh, because it says bay trees. It doesn't just say bay tree. Hearing some traffic sounds. So, must be a road down there. Alright, so that was 16. It was a mouthful. Bay trees, crowding out competition. Circle of life. Disney's never done a movie about that as far as I know of. I mean, the huckleberry, the sword fern, and the bay trees. What will be number 15? I don't know, but I know we're coming around into another turn in our valley here. And, interesting. I'd presume we go to the right? Lower connector. So we're going up here. Got a trail, and it's kind of like, you forget this because there's like magic hour where you take pictures, right, which is closer to sunset. But I don't know, like a magic hour when you're hiking is right now. So I don't know, that's like, well, I guess it's close to magic hour. It's 4:30. I forgot there was an hour I was off of here, but yeah, so it what was my point? My point is that it is magic hour, like these late, when the sun is like lower in the sky and trickling through the leaves, does take on this emotional coolness. We got some forest stairs, maybe a different third kind of fern. I don't know, but I depend on interpretive science for all my information. And yeah, you can hear other people enjoying the trail, birds enjoying the world. They were on the trail where it's split and it goes to the Skyline Trail. That one probably goes to Redwood, maybe. But yeah, people are having a real time down there discussing things. Or maybe they realized they were like wanting to head this way. Or maybe their trail's just right below us. I don't know. But again, I'm really pressed. Can't say with certainty where I haven't or haven't been, but I really don't think. I mean, if we're Monday morning quarterbacking Scoots' Pass, he definitely did not fully utilize these parks. But I guess what I was saying kind of is like, okay, well, you're using them now, and again, I'm not prescribing any behavior for anybody else, but maybe putting my humanity on display is relatable to anybody. But and I also know from like being a sober person that moving is not going to change anything for me on the inside or my behaviors and or my kind of circumstances. And so as I was looking at this moving thing and thinking about it as like a real option, I really have to evaluate that and talk it through and say, okay, well, remember, if there's other changes you want to make in your life, maybe start making them now, or behaviors that you want to bring with you that you fantasize, totally normal for a lot of us, that moving will create. And this was one of the big ones, like not spending all weekend working, and and getting out and doing more stuff. So, or even, I mean, especially like for just, I guess it's that simple. And being like, well, there'll be a better time for me to get out and do stuff. It'd be a better time for that. It's like, no, now's the time. Alright, now I gotta see Huckleberry Loop of 14 and 15 to the right. Huh. So is this... I guess this is a loop? Oh, maybe this is like a little side trail though. 14 and 15. Let's see. So we're going to the right. And maybe this is where I've gone hiking with someone a while ago. Yeah, this is it, I'm pretty sure. So we must have came in on that other side of that loop and gone out. Because this is like Manzanita City and Scrub that we're headed out to. And I think like a nice little promontory action. So, yeah, we're in some Manzanita now. On both sides. And I always associate Manzanita a lot with Southern California. Yeah, this is a Manzanita Barren, Habitat 14. Manzanitas are shrubby pioneers on exposed rocky soil. Young huckleberries seeded by bird droppings are slowly taking over the canopy. With time, hucklebees will enshroud and shade out these pioneers. I have to look at which ones are huckleberries. Okay. Let's see if it tells us the difference over here. Now this is more Manzanita Barren. Brittle leaf Manzanita and pallid Manzanita. A barren is home to two species of Manzanita. The pallid Manzanita is just in a few East Bay localities. The brittle leaf is endemic in California, larger. The difference is in their leaves. Pallids clasp the branch, while the little leaves of Manzanitas are in slender petrioles. In addition, brittle leaf has a structure called a burl at its base. This is a knobby growth full of latent buds that develop after things. Both plants produce seeds, but pallid Manzanita lacks a burl and relies solely on seed. I don't see any huckleberry though, but I don't know what huckleberry looks like. But yeah, I definitely remember this hike because it was like a situation where I was hiking with somebody that it was a nice hike. Didn't work out, but yeah, I got a nice view of D and Labo, Mountain D and Labo. Somebody's car having some issues there. Okay, so this is the Manzanita Barren. This is just a little thing here. I remember because I was like, I hope this hike lasts forever. Didn't. But whatever, man. I'm out here with everybody else now. So yeah, okay. So it was Huckleberry Park. So I have been here before, but just on this short part of this loop. But yeah, I just was like trying to be like, I remember that Manzanita thing and a bench and like a like a great view. And because like the Manzanita Barren is so much different. It's feels like when I lived in LA and you'd go hiking in Angeles National Forest. It's just a different type of feel. Or maybe, yeah, I mean, maybe Manzanita is also coastal scrub, but I don't really know. All right, so now we are going to take a right and continue on. We got 14 and 15 done. And, yeah, oh, by the way, pallid Manzanita only grow between Oakland and El Sobrante. So don't mess with them at all. Please, leave the pallid Manzanita alone. They're pallid for a reason. They don't need blush or anything. Is that what pallid means? Okay, so here we are. We're on a loop that presumably returns. Oh yeah, because I was like, man, what if that right was a part of the loop? Which way to go? But we're just continuing on the same loop we've been on. You got to look at start in the intro too. So what I'll do is, I guess when we get to the number 10 plus 3, I will do the intro, right? And work the rest of it in. So you'll have heard that before already, unless you listen to the story-only version of this somewhere, which luckily it seems like we got a full episode out of this, so it's cool. And an hour of me hiking that I already forgot about. And I don't know how much distance did we get in? It looks like we get in 4.5 miles, but a decent amount of up and down, so it's pretty good. And got some good bird sounds. And again, it's like, I don't know, this may be a more silent part of the woods here. Got some bird sounds. We're shaded all around, so we're not really hearing any echo or wind or road. So you get that when people refer to stuff like a cathedral. I don't know, is that what I guess that would be more of like an abbey. Quiet. Cathedral's more like grand and spacious. So cathedral's more where there's like some of the other views we may have had earlier. I don't know. I make a sleep podcast, and I'm not the accurate metaphor podcast, right? Am I right? Am I right? Glad we all get to hike together here. And we're looking for number 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 10. Counting down. 14 came in, and 15 were related to Manzanita and Manzanita Barrens. And now, very soon, we have the Douglas iris. Thickened grass-like leaves, elegant purplish flowers of spring, the Douglas iris. It prefers the moist seepage areas, and first peoples here used the outermost strands of fiber from the leaf margins for weaving. There are 2 forms of species in this preserve, and because it is spring, it is blooming. And wow, what a way to end an episode. It is lavender and yellow, and it is gorgeous. And I am getting some video of it, so if you ever are curious about what we saw on this particular hike and the video worked, you could probably find that on YouTube or Sleep With Me Plus, maybe some other places. But yeah, it's nice hiking with you today. I appreciate you coming along for the hike. Sleep well. And for the love of Douglas iris. I wonder if there's 2 styles of it. Yeah, the birds and I are saying good night. Thanks, and good night, everybody.
Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message. And you may have been hearing or listening, or maybe haven't, like the past month, listing all the people that that shouldn't support the show, right? If you're new, you only listen once in a while, you can't afford to support the show, you don't want to, you don't need to support the show. But that led to a question that tons of people on Sleep With Me Plus have been answering, and that maybe I could answer for you. Should you support the show? And the easiest question, it may have a quick answer. Yes. Are you listening to me right now? Yes. Are you hearing me right now? Yes. And do you want to be a part of this thing that we're doing? Sleepy joy and delight in the deep, dark night? And if the answer is yes, right now in this moment, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to not just support the show, but to be a part of this, being here for all those other people and for you. Not only will you get access to stuff based on how super listeners listen to the show, people that listen all night, people that have been listening for years, people that have favorites, They only listen to certain styles of shows. Maybe they only want the stories, but they want them as soon as they come out. Maybe whatever you like, that's what we built Sleep With Me Plus in mind. Or you just want ad-free listens, or you listen all night long. But are you a person that Sleep With Me, you feel comfort with this show? You found this show and you're like, man, this is what I've been looking for. Is that a yes? I never found anything like this. Is that a yes? You helped me when nothing else worked. That's a yes. I like the idea of having a bore friend or a bore bud. That's a yes. You're there when I need you. I can count on this show. Is that a yes? Yes. I listen when I wake up in the middle of the night. Yes, I listen when I have trouble getting to sleep. Yes, I listen to more than one episode a night when I need to. Yes, I listen every night I need the show because I know I can count on it. Yes, I've been listening for years and years and years. Or yes, I just want, yes, I'd rather skip the music or have a preference beyond what a regular listener might have. Yes, I know how much thought, care, kindness, caring, hard work from Scooter and other people go into making the show so it can be here for me. Yes, I hear and in listening when you ask for support. Yes, I know the show needs my support. Yes, I'm in a position where I can support the show, but most importantly, yes, I want to support the show. I can and I want to. And maybe I want to because it's a yes, I'd miss the show if it was gone. Yes, I don't think I could replace this podcast. Yes, I count on it. Or maybe it's a yes, wow, this podcast, when I support it, I get to help thousands of other people who count on this show. Yes, me supporting this is rare in this world. Even being in a position to support the show is pretty rare. Yes, having a desire right now to take action to support something I care about is tough and rare. It's not easy. That's the one thing I've learned over the past this year is how tough it is to support the show. Not just financially, but there's something in everybody's way, and that's normal. So I'm looking for the people that have so many yeses, they outweigh those barriers, like to support the show right now. Yes, I know it will feel good when I support the show. Yes, I know I could cancel at any time. I'm not committed to anything either. Yes, I love the bore giggles. Yes, I love sleepy joy and delight in the deep dark night. Or yes, I just love the boredom, the consistency, the tone of the show. Yes, this podcast has changed my life. Yes, this podcast has changed my relationship with sleep. Yes, my life is better when this show is a part of it. But yes, right now I'm going to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to support the show. And yes, I'll set up the bonus content tomorrow. I won't do that because I'm already in bed. I'll just support the show now. But really, even if it's not your yes, I'm a part of this thing that's important to a lot of people. Yes, I'm a part of this thing that makes my life better and other people's lives better. And I want it to be here in this world. It is so different than a lot of things I see during the deep, dark day. Yes, I want to be a part of this thing, and I want to feel good about it. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you can't, you don't need to feel, you might feel things about it, right? Because we all do. But it's not a strategy. Yeah, it's really hard to support the show, even when you're in a position to. And yeah, not everybody's in a position to, or not everybody has those yeses. Not everybody wants to support the show. And maybe you're just a new listener, listen along with curiosity, or you're one of those people that listens to the show every once in a while when you're going through one of those seasons of life, one of those phases from life. You're a quote unquote regular listener. You only listen for a little bit at a time. You really don't need to support the show. I guess you could, but you don't need to. We just need those people with all those yeses. And I guess to get one of those people to where the yeses pile up in a way, that they switch the balance. And it's like, right now, I'm going to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And that they realize that you realize on one side, it's pretty normal to not be in a place financially or just where you want to support the show or where it's even possible. There's so many obstacles in that way, and that's okay. But that is also a big yes when someone does that, because that is what keeps the podcast around. And that is a sign, hey, I don't want this show not to, I want this show to be here. I can't replace it. So if any of those are, if you have enough yeses, please consider supporting the show. Thanks.